Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. This is John and Jenna with Flippin' Ain't Easy. And I hope you guys had a good week. Ours was kind of sporadic all over the place, to be honest with you. But we're just going to keep pushing forward. What I want to talk about today, and a couple things I want to discuss, but one thing I want to go over today is, you see in the title there, eBay is kicking off, or they have kicked off, a Things People Love ad campaign. I don't know if you guys saw this, but we are always checking e-commerce bites and value-added resource. And in this case, Ina Steiner put out an article, as you can see here, talking about it. And eBay airs TV commercials in new brand campaign. And as it says here, eBay will begin running new TV commercials with the theme Things People Love as part of its first global brand campaign in nearly a decade, according to Chain Store Age. I don't know what that is. A 15-second promotional spot highlighting vintage handbags will begin airing from today, the 5th. That's on Tuesday, across linear and digital platforms. eBay notified Chain Store Age of the new campaign 2 days after sellers had begun grumbling on the eBay discussion boards about seeing TV commercials for Etsy and Amazon, but not ones for eBay. How long have we been grumbling about that for? It's been more than just 2 days. Linking to a new holiday commercial from Etsy in a thread on the eBay discussion boards, as the seller wrote, "Here we have what is known as holiday marketing campaign ad. I have posted this here because after 3 or 4 straight years that a holiday marketing campaign, eBay might not remember what one looks like. I'm also posting this link to a blog post describing the campaign for the benefit of platform seller community, just in case after 3 or 4 years without a holiday marketing campaign, eBay has forgotten what seller engagement and transparency, you guys know how to think about that, transparency looks like." And so that's kind of the gist of it. Here is the ad. So you can see that.
Okay, eBay. The place for pre-loved and vintage fashion. eBay, things people love.
Gotta love it. So there you go. That is the one example of the ad campaign. Hopefully we get more, and that is like a 15-second spot, if that. Something that really tells the masses that eBay is here. We're much more than featured categories or high-end categories. There's like another 95% of things that you can buy on this platform that you may or may not be aware of. And, here we are in time for the holidays. So hopefully things like that, I think things like that get eBay's name out there, and it gives someone that's shopping online a chance to say, you know what, let me check eBay. And hopefully we will all see some kind of an uptick in sales, because whenever there's advertisements like that, there's an uptick in traffic. So check this out. My friend Pete, you guys, many of you don't know who this guy is. He's an up-and-coming YouTuber, also happens to sell on eBay. Was kind enough to send me a shirt with ruby and honey, and I think this is awesome. This is like one of my favorite shirts now. I'm not lying. I've been waiting to wear this shirt on the live for you guys. So really, really cool stuff. And shout out to Pete out there, one of the coolest, realest people that I know in the reselling community. Really, really good person. We putting out, we put a podcast out. We did the recording today, so you don't miss that Profit Playbook podcast. And I also did a couple videos. I did a video on, I believe it was Wednesday, talking about the promoted listings campaign, and it's dynamic. It's for dynamic promoted listings, and it's not the same as your standard fixed promoted listings. This is if you're using the campaign. A lot of times we're using the dynamic. You're kind of saying, okay, I want the highest, I want the recommended rate that eBay is telling us to promote at, but I don't want to exceed this amount, whatever that number is, right? So you'll be pushed up to that level. Now, if you say 10% and it's only 7%, well, then you'll be at 7%. And so eBay has gone in and said, look, the lowest number you can put there is for that bar is 5%. So that's the minimum that you can use for dynamic. Not to be confused with fixed, which is 2%. And it still is 2%. It's not 5%. Other channels have said it's 2%, and they're just not either understanding or reading it right. 2% is still the minimum what you are required to promote if you're going to use promoted listings. But I got to tell you, they made this change because they're trying to boost revenues. Like it's like a knee-jerk reaction they had. They are trying to improve their numbers. And if that doesn't work, well, what else can they do except maybe hit the fixed listing? So that just wants to clear up some confusion. If you want to look at the video that I put out on Wednesday, go in and check it out. So that's my diatribe. Only 7 minutes today, not 10. And again, we've already established this. That's part of the show. That's how we roll. We get the discussion going, and then otherwise, it'd be kind of a drab live if we just got on here and said, hey guys, what's going on with you? Okay, let's read the comments. All right, 30 minutes later, we're done. So you guys are part of the show. You guys are what make this Monday and Friday live what it is. And without you guys, it's just some guy who sells in his garage sitting up here and talking to himself. So we have Mike Camparelli, who claims to be first. Oh, by the way, thank you, Mike. He was nice enough to send me this. I think it's awesome. It's an on-air, like a little neon sign. And I don't know what to say. Mike, I just, you outdo yourself every time, and it's never expected. So thank you so much for what you do and who you are. But I hope everyone is experiencing good Q4 sales. It's my sales, just to give you an update here, because I haven't looked today, but
you're in hot desert.
Okay, well, that's good. My sales in this account are up 81% on this account, which is offsetting like the 20, I think it's around 20% down in the other store. So it's kind of a wash. It makes me feel better about the fact that I really feel like I could be doing more in my main store, but it's because I'm doing more in this store. Jackie is second. Flipping from the trailer is third. Hello, John and Jenna in chat. Pitco says, hi, John and Jenna and the FAE family. Nice to see you, Keith. Mine, no, I've been getting crickets since eBay done the update. And I think they're having a seller update. According to my emails from eBay, they're having a check-in on, where is it? Did they even invite me on this one? Probably not. I believe it's like in a week, they're having a seller check-in, like an eBay fall winter update or something check-in. So if I remember to do it, I'll go. But, that's usually I'm so busy that I tend to forget, even though I try to register for those things. Coppercat says, hello, FA family. It's great to be able to join live from the start. Nice to see you from the start. Keith says, Beard doing a stream after anyone know. From what I understood, well, the last time I checked, he says I might, but I'm not sure. So if he's here with us, hopefully he can jump in and let everyone know. Ping G says, hello, John and Jenna and the chat. Happy Friday. Nice to see you, Ping. Flip It Good says, happy Friday. Happy Friday. Scott Fisher Flip says, good evening, guys. Thanks for being here. We have solved the solution. Just got a sale before I hit the like. It's kind of a retroactive thing. It knew you were going to hit the like. So that's kind of what could have happened here. Callie Deb says, hello and happy Friday, everyone. And or back to this, it could be what you're selling. A lot of people give me flack for saying, well, because you're slow sales, it is what you're selling, could be what you're selling. But you might have gotten the sale because you had a good item for sale. It had nothing to do with anyone's like button. Southern Vermont Vintage is with us. Thanks for being here. We have Maya. Thanks for being here, Maya. Duncan VR says, I feel listening. This live is now a regular part of my Saturday routine. Good sales here. The crickets are silent. How are your sales? Today, I think I'm at like $200 something on my main account. So I always look at it from a half full standpoint in that we still have another, at least here, 9 hours before tomorrow hits. So that's 9 hours that my buyers have a chance to save the day. It's happened many, many times where I've come on here on a Friday or a Monday and said, hey, our sales just stink. And then right after the show, it's like, what in the world's happening here? After the show, we get a lot of sales. For whatever reason, what is going on with these people?
That's on your side.
I mean, they're showing me lions, they're showing me pandas, they're showing me, oh, we'll send you a text just to sign into your account. And I'm trying to sign into my account so I can, go over the data with you. And I have to type in, it wants me to do 2-factor authentication, which I have not set up here. Let's see. I don't like this dead air stuff, so I apologize. I just want to see what I'm doing. Okay. My password's been reset. Okay. This has been happening to me. Maybe it's because I jump back and forth between 2 accounts, but it happens just way too often. It's almost like enough eBay. You don't need to ask me every time I click on something if I know what a panda looks like. But actually, my sales are down only 2.7%. So that's good to see here. So that's not as bad as I thought. Maybe I was looking at something else. But hopefully your sales are doing a little bit better than mine. Joe Samard says, howdy, everyone. Don't forget, the post office will be closed on Monday. What is that, Veterans Day? Oh, yeah. Good job, veterans. Biscuit Butt, howdy, FA gang. Nice to see you. Basket Noodle says, what's up? My phone beeped me, not beeping me, John and Jenna. Nice to see you, Basket Noodle. I'm very concerned, though. Kevin Hawthorne is with us, but he is in hiding right now. He will not disclose his location. So nice to see you, Kevin. Solve the Solution says, I've never done promoted listing. It is a scam. Okay, so when you say it is a scam, that comes off as like it doesn't work. It's like they're tricking you into paying money into this thing, but it doesn't do you any benefit. And I have to say, there's many people who have stopped promoting and then have had no sales and then went back to promoting, and within days they get sales. So as far as if it works or not, it works. Now, if the way you feel is like it's a money grab, it shouldn't be there to begin with, and therefore it's a scam, well, then I understand what you're saying. But it does, I got to tell you guys, I wouldn't be nearly as successful on my main account. I mean, I'm having a bad month right now, and I'm at $11,350 in sales. That's a bad month. And if it wasn't for promoted listings, I would be at about half of that. So it's like, do I want to have, and I have a lot of merchandise. I'd have over 200 something items in my store. I'd be waiting for items to sell, and I would probably be having a lot tougher time financially. Jovial says, hey, FA fam, happy No Mail Monday. That is, I just forgot totally about it. Semperfi in the house, slow sales this week, but I'm going to keep listing. Don't like the new viewing of the impressions and views. No grumbling or beeping my phone. No. Who's doing that? Pitco says, I've been seeing the eBay ads on TV for about a month now. See, we don't really have TV. We don't have cable. We don't have like commercials. I mean, we have on YouTube. We even have the family plan, the premier plan. So we're not watching. She's not complaining about it anymore. You guys notice that? So when you have that, the idea of going back to like commercial TV is just, that's why we have this community. I'm hopeful that you guys are seeing these ads, because I'm not seeing them at all. Fisher Flips, all I've been seeing from eBay was an email today asking me to sell designer watches. I don't know. Go figure on that. There's a new icon, Biff Boffo. I don't know who that is. Do you know who that is on his avatar? Amazing that it takes message board grumbling to convince eBay to advertise. Isn't advertising basic business? Yes.
I don't know who that is.
But it costs money. Of course, you know that. And they are not trying to invest that money into our business. Hold on real quick. I need to step away. Can you do that?
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Josh Galt is with us today. Hey, y'all. Hey. We've got the Crazy Card. What's up, guys? Chastity. Good evening, all. Solve the solution. eBay needs Josh Galt as their spokesman. Junk Trader. Hello, good people.
I said answer this text.
Huh?
I said answer a text. So I had some business going, and I have to address that. Something I forgot to do. So it is what it is. Basket Noodle says it won't uptick my traffic. My traffic is definitely not highly tickable. I think you do well. I don't know what you sell, but from what I understand, I think you do well. Pitco, we started seeing the eBay ads about 5 weeks ago. There was an uptake in sales, but seems to have worn off now. Being Bling, Carolyn, Bling Bling Factor, Australia. Hi, John and Jenna. I hope you are having a great Friday, Saturday morning here. I'm out for my walk.
Oh, how nice.
Wonder what the weather's like in Australia. It's now It's now summertime in Australia, isn't it? Or getting to be summertime. Solve the solution. eBay leases Amazon Web Services service. So actually, Jeff Bezos is the one who decides if you get a sale or not. No, the customer does. I mean, see, look, here's the thing. It's not like we have a bunch of bots buying our stuff. So we've made eBay happy. So we're getting sales. Some magical person like appears and starts buying our stuff. It's not how it works. eBay provides traffic. So now you have a bunch of people that jump on eBay. They're searching for these random trinkets. And if your item happens to be what that thing is, then it'll pop up on the screen as an impression, and the buyer's scrolling through the search results. They click into your listing. That's a page view. Now, if you have the right item at the right price, the right everything that appeals to the buyer, then that buyer will buy your item. It's as simple as that. And I think a lot of people, we draw our own conclusions about things. Is eBay punishing me for a return request? Is eBay punishing me for this, that, and the other thing? I think that there's a lot of things that we can draw our own conclusion on. But at the end of the day, eBay wants you to sell something. They want you to sell something. It may not feel like it, but if you remove your feelings from the equation and start looking at why your items aren't selling, that will help you. And I feel strongly about that. eBay, yes, they have their problems, but they would not be where they are right now. And believe me, they're doing better than it seems without generating sales. Basket Noodle says eBay should be invading Roku as it's highly affordable and diverse. They should target specifics in some ads, and they need changes towards promotable event themes. Yeah, they need to do different from what they're doing right now. Donna Francisco, Veterans Day is Monday. Love it. Basket Noodle says he wears a hat and is married, so can't be too bad a fella, or she'd not be there.
You're talking about this guy right here?
Me? Well, I mean, you don't want to see my hair without a hat, so.
He is a good guy.
I try. Rihanna's with us. Thanks for being here. Happy Friday. Jovial Juggler says, I love how you roll. This is how we roll. We just roll this way. Chastity says, my sales are up all week, and today, absolute squat. Susan says, I received an email today from eBay that I was enrolled in international shipping. Any info is great. Just always shipped in U.S. Yeah. So you talk about the eBay international shipping program. And with that, Susan, you're going to still be shipping to the U.S. So it'll go to Illinois. And once they get it, once they ship it out, it's out of your hands. Return requests, maybe buyers will still maybe contact you about the item itself, but return requests and things like that, item not received cases, is between them and eBay. Basket Noodle. So look, goods to guts, structured sales days such as garage sale days once or twice a month, where sellers need commit inventories in advance without price fixing. That's one of two, but I don't see two.
It's right there.
This is a 2 of 2. Fashion days, hobby days, entertainment days. Point being, focus days where sellers commit inventories in advance with steep discounts to move the stuff, and sellers with great metrics. Yeah, I mean, you got to develop processes and things that you have to do on your end that's going to work for your sales. For me, I mean, I don't do a whole lot of garage sale days or things like that to move inventory. I did finally make a sale off eBay. Anybody want to guess what this is for? Wild guess. I'll probably get to you in about a half an hour with the answer. How about a shower shitter? I had these listed on Facebook Marketplace, and I listed them about 3 weeks ago, and nobody. Usually, okay, that's enough. I hit the wrong thing. I hit the button. Didn't mean to give myself an applause
for yourself.
No, I didn't mean to do that.
Uh-oh.
So I got crickets. I posted these seats on the orange ones and the teal ones. $40. Come pick it up. Nothing. Is this available? Everyone that sells on Marketplace knows that generic message people send you, and you reply back quickly saying, yeah, it's here. When you're going to come and get it, and they never respond. I didn't even get that. And I look at my phone, and I got a message from this, I guess she's like in her 70s. I only found out afterwards, saying, I'm here. I drove all the way from Kingman, Arizona to Las Vegas, and I need to pick up one of these seats. So I'm like, well, okay. Now it's like a half an hour before us recording the podcast.
Wait,
and
she drove here for a shower shitter.
Drove here for an appointment. She had a doctor's appointment, but while she's here, she's going to grab this chair. So I told her, I said, look, you need to be here in a half an hour. I looked up, she gave me her address. I said, okay, you're about 19 minutes away. Here's the address you're driving to, and you need to leave now because I have to be out of here at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So she got here right at 11 a.m. And, of course, older people, they love to talk. So, I mean, I got a story about taxes and all. I don't even know how this ended up. In fact, I should have just said, look, here, I got to go, $40, please. But she ended the conversation saying, can I get a $5 discount? Okay. I said, but I got to go. And so she gave me the 35. I put this in her car, and she's off to Kingman now. So happy days. But hey, one less chair to deal with. And $35 more in my pocket. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, no fees.
Right. So if I sell this same chair on eBay, I'm selling it for $20 minus fees. I'm making 2x my initial investment because I'm blowing them out. And so in this case, we don't have to ship anything. Don't have to worry about lost packages. The biggest pain point with selling in person is the buyer. Are they flaky? Or are they going to blow you off? Are they going to tell you, hey, I'm on my way, and never show up? That happens too often. Glenda Bavona says, hi, John and Jenna, and all the wonderful chat peeps. Happy Friday. Nice to see you, Glenda. Basket Noodle want traffic. That's a good start and highly advertisable as far as the fashion days, hobby days, entertainment days. Let's highlight one category every day, each day of the year.
Well, that's kind of what Poshmark does with their parties. Every day they have at certain hours, they have different themes or categories. I don't know what the numbers would be on something like that, but I mean,
Biff says I'm up 43%, mostly due to past neglect from taking an eBay break. Yeah, if you're having, she's got to get the mailman's here. So if you're having, and she drops her blanket, so I can't roll my chair. So if you're having 43% increase in sales, it has to be due to something. It's generally not due to, well, I just had a bad run. Usually something is causing you to not list as much as you are now, and that's kind of sounds like what's happening here. Rose A1, what's your VPN? My VPN? Oh, sorry, it's your VPN. not sure what's causing that. Is someone having problems with their VPN? Because I don't use one. Jovial says, happy National Dunce Day, followed by Talk Money Day, ending with Cook Something Bold and Pungent Day. Well, I don't know about all that. We're having leftover chili that I made the other day, and that's kind of what's on the menu for tonight. Sunny Las Vegas. Saw him the other night in the casino here, the local casino. We went to go check out that movie that we told you guys about, which I would not recommend you see, the new Tom Hanks movie, because it's not very good. As someone who likes Tom Hanks movies, I was very, very disappointed. But we were probably one of the highlights from that trip is running into Sunny. So nice to see you. The Crazy Card says, cha-ching, drink. Good. You got a sale. Love that. Junk Trader, Anissa, we have cable, $160 a year, and I get 1,000 more channels than I had with direct. That's $160 a year. That's pretty good. And that's 1,000 channels. The TV that we bought, the Samsung TV, when you hook it up, it gives you 250 channels just by hooking it up to the internet. I'm not sure how good the channels are. What's your experience with the channels that we have on that?
On what?
On the TV, that the channels that came with the TV. Was it any
I
good?
don't watch regular TV.
Well, it's you know what? In a pinch, I guess it's okay.
I mean, we have a smart TV, so I download the apps that I want to watch.
Peddler's Playground. I use promoted listings too. Issue is eBay is now charging us to use promoted to get the same sales we would have gotten before they brought that program on board back in 2019. It is a money grab. There's no other way to paint it. It is a way for eBay to increase their revenues. And my thing has always been eBay needs to find ways to generate more traffic, and through more traffic, they'll get more sales, and through more sales, they'll get more revenue. And maybe this whole advertising campaign will do just that. And you know what? There should be no surprise that eBay launched this dynamic 5% fee increase this week, and they started this ad campaign this week. They probably got together saying, guys, how can we find a way to offset the loss of buyers, loss of sales, and to increase our revenues? So now this is the way I would have done it all along. Get more brand recognition, get Gen Z to understand that this is a place they can come and buy stuff, and make the increase of fees as a last resort, because all you're going to do is chase sellers away. So you've already chased buyers away, and sellers are going to pass this on to their buyer, and then depending on the type of item that they're selling, I don't know. I just don't think it's the right business model for me. Duncan says, I can't stand TV commercial ads. I pretty much stream everything. I only get casino and Temu ads. If that's saying it right. I know
sucks.
You get Temu all the time. Samantha says, good evening all. Thanks for being here. 7 degrees Celsius in the UK. That's like 30 degrees, 20 degrees. I don't know what it translates to.
It seems cold.
L&V Massage. Hey guys, listening and watching the live. Well, nice to see you. Thanks for dropping in. Biff Boffo says, do you think potential tariffs against China will impact liquidation in any way, good or bad? I think it can hurt. What's going to happen is if you get tariffs like that, it's going to drive up the price of the item. It's probably going to change the market for some items, like your electronics and the things that you would normally buy at the retail, like Walmart or Target. I think that you're going to see a higher price. Now, as far as liquidation, I think what that's going to do is it's going to drive up the MSRP. So like, for instance, I'm looking at a $10,000 MSRP pallet. That same $10,000 MSRP pallet will have less things in it because all the prices are going to be higher. That's just what my take on it. Anytime you increase the cost of that good coming in or through manufacturing, that cost is always passed on to the consumer. Nick Rinaldi says, I have $40 in sales today after weeks of $300 to $700 days. It happens. It's sales and not eBay. eBay isn't a person that decided to smell today and didn't want me to make sales. Yeah, it's whenever you're like right now, my sales on my main account aren't doing great. I mean, not great, not where I want it to be. The fact that we're at the beginning of Q4, I would want it to be at least on par with, what I've done the last few months. So the first thing I look at is, what did I do? What am I not doing? And what I'm not doing is I'm not getting as much inventory up. I actually at a point had about 220 items in my store, and it's back down to like 190, 187. And I'm just not matching the pace, listing those items in that main store to keep up. And that's on me. So Duncan says, if your item sucks, even promoting at 85% won't sell. You have to have the right items people want. That's right. Because I did that 100% promotion and neither item sold after a few days. I have no feelings, nor can I spell equation. I think that's right. Deep Dive Book says, where is the real John? Jenna did the election results make him bump his head. Where's the real John? This is the real John. I sport Craigslist Hunter shirts with my Angels hat. This is I. The Picky Picker says, hi, everyone, watching live from the beginning. Okay. That means you're 20 minutes behind me being 20 minutes behind, if that makes sense. John Doe says, last week was my worst week ever, and this week is worse than that. I honestly don't understand what I'm doing wrong. 3,000 items sold in 3 years. I don't do promoted listings. So, John, you don't do promoted listings. Now, that doesn't mean you should do promoted listings. It really depends on the competition of your items. Now, at this point, you have 3,000 items plus. Going through each and every one of them and doing research is going to take a lot of time. But I'm wondering if you said, okay, I'm going to take one solid week. I'm going to set 2.1% promoted list. Don't do 2% because everyone that's reluctant to do promoted listings and doing it because they feel like they have to is at 2%. Do at least 2.1% and just see if you have any sales. Now then go back, compare that week to the week before and say to yourself, okay, so if I paid 2.1%, maybe you paid $40 in eBay, extra eBay fees, but you got $500 in sales, more than you would have. Is that worth continuing paying that extra 40 to get 500 more in sales? And I'm just throwing a wild number out. I don't know your metrics. Maybe 500 is too small or too high, but I think you get my point. I think a lot of times, out of principle, people will step over the dollar to pick up a quarter. And we really need to get out of that mindset. Businesses spend money to make money. Okay. They don't avoid spending money to make money. You see billboards all the time when you're driving somewhere. You see advertisements on your phone. You see the commercials on TV. These things cost businesses a lot of money they would probably not want to spend on anything but their business, but they realize they have to do that in order to get more revenue. And while we none of us here really are happy with the concept of promoted listings, I think at some point, if you're serious about selling on the platform, at what point are you going to just accept the fact that this is part of the way it is on eBay? And how do we make that work to our benefit? How do we make money off of that? Deep Dive Books is Grumpy. So, Grumpy John, nice to see you. Deep Dive Books, very interesting. Nice to see you, buddy.
It's always coming in with new accounts.
Susan says, how do you handle time away, going to San Antonio for 4 days? So what I do is different from a lot of people do. Some people will set their store to vacation mode and then flip it back on when they come back. From what I have heard from people who do that, it takes like a day or 2 or 3 to get the momentum back. So if you had any kind of sales momentum before you flip the switch, you're going to come back and it's going to slowly kind of, get back on track. For me, if I'm gone 4 days, I'm setting 4 days handling on all my shipping policies. So I'm going to go into all my shipping policies, change them all over to 4 days. And then the next day. So let's say I'm gone the first day, I'm changing it to 3 days. Then the day after that, I'm changing it to 2 days. And you just got to change it once for each policy that covers all your listings. And that's how I do it. Duncan says, I get orders to pack too hard to do it.
You can do it.
You can do it. I know you can. Picky Picker says, listed a bunch of PSP games this past weekend that I got in one big buy, and most of them have already sold. Yeah, PSP, that format, it's like a little small disc. If you see that, I think I'd rather sell that kind of media than the more common DVD, Blu-ray, that type of thing. Hustle Man Jonathan says, what's up, other Jonathan and Jenna? LOL. Nice to see you, buddy. Thanks for coming on in here. Jovial says, local pickup. Local
for your shitter.
Yeah, local pickup. And I guess as long as it works out, it's good, right? But I've had too many traumatic experiences like chasing people down, and it's like, I don't want to do that. Henri Squaw says, howdy y'all, checking in late. We'll try to catch up. Totally off subject for this from Jovial. For those who know someone who has Medicare, please reach out to them to see if they need assistance with understanding the Medicare Advantage Plan insurance. I see 1 of 2, and here's 2 of 2. It can be overwhelming, and if you are lucky, you'll have to enroll one day. Yeah. Okay. I could have told that lady when she picked up the toilet seat to do that, but I don't know too many folks who would qualify that I can tell. Absolute Fine says, hey guys, hope all is well. So far, so good. Hopefully things are good with you. Nick Rinaldi says that old lady got you with a $5 fee and 15 minutes of time. Yep. She eBay feed me. This is kind of what eBay does. Oh, we sold you $40 item. Can we take 5 of that? Biff Boffo says, best thing to do with low dollar FBM transaction is to tell them to leave the money under the mat. Most people are honest and ain't nobody scamming a shitter. I guess you could do that, right? But I don't know. What do you think of that?
I just don't like the whole fact that they're coming to my house.
Maybe leave a little note on the box. It says, leave the $40 under the mat. If you take off with the product, I hope you have runs every time you use this thing. And maybe that karma that you give them will make them think twice. Flipping from the Trailers has had an $80 sale on Marketplace this week. That's awesome. Lori says hi.
Hi, Lori.
Southern Vermont Vintage, always use your neighbor's address when meeting up with buyers. That's funny. And then you're like, uh-oh, this is trouble. Let's see what happens here. Let's see. Basket Noodle. My point is eBay does not engage in diverse creative marketing, and due to sheer mass of sellers, has the ability to do what no other site can. Focal deep discount sales days. Yeah. They can. How about this? I like the concept that they had of the eBay Bucks thing, right? You know, like a rewards program. They buy enough stuff on eBay, right? They charge us enough in fees. I think they can afford to do this if they want buyer retention. Give them like a rewards card, like $1 for every, I don't know, $100 spent before shipping and all that they can then apply towards future eBay purchases. Something like that, I think would go really well. Mix Mercantile, checking in, watching on my way to the post office. Well, darn it, thank you for being here, and hopefully you don't have to stand in line. Duncan says, Samsung TV, free stations, mostly crap. Yeah,
that's
probably
what we have.
Yeah, I don't watch enough TV to care, really. Mix Mercantile says, thumbs up. Thanks for being here. And Deep Dive says, I'm in hiding since I voted for Harris. That's okay. You can come out now. Nick Rinaldi says, you will find peace when you accept that mega corporations will do whatever they can to make money. If you want them to care about you, buy stock. Otherwise, use it as a tool to make money. Yep, I agree with that. It's all about, look, eBay's doing it to us. How can we make money off of these sellers who are trying to sell their items on our platform, right? So now you can accept that, right? This is their sandbox. As much as we hate it, this is their sandbox. It's not our sandbox. If you want your sandbox, you need to go to Shopify, create your own site, and see how you do with the traffic that you get organically. But once you accept that this is eBay sandbox, how do you then take the tools that eBay has given you and make it work for you so you can make more money? And if that means you're spending a little bit of money so that you can get more traffic to your listings, then that's probably the best way. But so many people are in their own way of being able to make more money. So they sit back and say, I got no sales. I got no sales. I got no sales. But they could have done all that time. They could have done something about it. Keith says eBay has to get more revenues to keep their board members living comfortable in their big houses and posh cars. Yep. And if I had a big house and a posh car, I would, let's say it was possible to get a big house and a posh car just from selling on eBay as a one-person show, no employees, because it is possible to really ramp up your operations, have a big warehouse, have hundreds of employees, and make it work. But none of us here are doing that. Maybe Grumpy John. But other than that, none of us are doing that. So let's say that selling as a one-person operation, you're able to have that nice house, that nice car. Well, wouldn't that be an accomplishment? I mean, you'd want to continue to keep that going, right? There's nothing wrong with building a successful business, building something that you're proud of. Now, I'm not saying that that's what eBay's doing, but they are a business, and they are in business to keep those shareholders happy. They do need more buyers, yes, and they lose they lost like 30 million buyers a couple years ago. They need to find a way to get those people back. Let's see. Baskin Noodle says tariffs are like trying to apply an ancient tool to a modern world that has globalized. It's sheer stupidity. Well, we'll find out. I mean, at this point, we're going to see what happens. And we have to now adapt to it. It's no different than eBay coming out saying, look, we're going to start charging buyers 5% now to make money. We might think, well, Mercari's tried it. They fell off. Poshmark, it only lasted a couple weeks. It's not going to work. But no matter what we say, we're going to have to adapt to whatever changes happen. Duncan says, hit the like for 15 free casino or for your emails in your inbox. So 15 free casino emails in your inbox. We don't do that. That's the other channels. Rob something. Tariffs will raise the price on a ton of products, electronics, clothing, shoes, hard goods, cars, parts made abroad. Expect super high inflation as a result. Yeah, you're gonna have, it has to be, you have to have higher prices as a result. Now, what does that mean? I don't know. What does it look like for the economy? I have no idea. We're just gonna have to sit back and see what happens, right? Larry Todd, cha-ching, having a banger day of sales. That's good to hear. Baskin Noodle says it's like fixed fortifications, monument to man's stupidity, the border wall, which for a Harbor Freight grinder and jack can be breached. Well, nonetheless, and I don't want to get, and I said this on the live. I don't know I said that on the members only live, and I'll kind of say it now because I don't want this channel, and I kind of got flack. I get flack on it from both sides. It's not me bending the knee, because look, many of you guys know, more than likely know who I voted for, but at the end of the day, after it's all said and done, I ain't trying to come out here to gloat to anybody about this, that, and the other thing. We all have our reasons for voting for who we vote for. But none of that should be important when we're on a eBay YouTube channel. This is a place where we come to talk about ideas. Now, the idea of like what could happen with tariffs. Yeah, I can talk about that. I can see how that could be a concern and how that can affect the retail sector, and everyone here that sells on eBay is part of the retail sector. But as far as like border walls and things like that, I really don't want to get political on this channel. I don't. I mean, it's happened a couple times, and it's never good. It's never good, and I don't want to alienate people who come here to just want to talk. They want to get away from all that nonsense. They want to focus on their business, and they just want to figure it out through ideas. And I don't want people to feel a certain way because, bottom line is we all have our own life experiences and that's why we maybe have voted the way we did. We have life experiences, and I'm never going to fault someone for for acting on that life experience. So at this point, I just wanted to put that out there. I did talk about that on the members only live, but I think it's important to say, because I think there's there's only a few things in this world that divide us. And I think that's one topic that can, and I don't want to hurt the community that we've built.
No, I think that it will.
So John's over $12,000. That's awesome. Yeah.
That's more than what we've made all month.
We've got Charlie Monthan in Scotland. In Scotland, my sales dropped drastically for almost a year. Only past few months, I'm back to regular, consistent sales and restarted adding more stock again. Sales were up and down. I do handmade items. Okay. So you have unique items. So
do you list them on it? Oh, wait. She's in Scotland.
Never mind. So if you have the ability, I think UK has this where you can, I'm certain they do, because I remember talking to eBert about it. How about a newsletter? So you're building a customer base. So if you do handmade items, they know that you're going to have more later on. So if they're referring a friend, or if they want more for themselves, they know that when they go back to your store, you're going to have more of that. So put out a newsletter. Hey, maybe talking about what you're up to, maybe some of the new things you're putting together, offering discounts, that kind of thing. And I do believe that can help you. Whereas it wouldn't help me, because then they might buy the shower crapper and, think, hey, Aunt Thelma wants one too, and then come back and I don't have any more. JR Care says, nope, things are going to be great. So we'll find out. Maya says, why does anyone think prices on anything are going back down? I don't think so. I think if you want to know the truth, and this has nothing to do with any side of the aisle, because we're in deep crap right now, the way I look at it, no matter who's in office. You have the Fed, who do what they do, and there's no controlling doing what they do. And you have BRICS. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South America. And that is a coalition of over 100 countries. They're trying to replace the dollar as the world currency, buying oil and this other thing. So once that happens, once you take our dollar out of play in the world, it is going to hurt each and every one of us. Our buying power is going to be not very good, regardless of tariffs or no tariffs. We're going to have really bad buying power. And this is something that's been in the works for years. So that's what's going on, guys. That's what's going on. That's why I'm very pessimistic about things, about our dollar that we rely on. And it's the value of that dollar that, really drives the price, drives it up or down. We print all these dollars. Well, guess what? The value of that dollar, it doesn't get you as much as it used to. Callie Devs, I don't use dynamic promoted listings. I set my own promotion percentages individually, and I make sales regularly. Yeah, most people don't really use the dynamic promoted listings. So that's why Bearded Picker was kind of saying, hey, it's a nothing burger. And I agree. But if you're reading the tea leaves, it's really not a nothing burger. It's like they're trying different things, ways to make money, and it leads the question, what's next? So first they do dynamic. Does that bridge the gap? And if it doesn't, then what's next? Is it 3% promoted? Is it 4% promoted? I don't know. I can. She wants the air on, and then she wants it off. She can't make up her mind. Picky Picker says, hit that like button. Yes, please do that. Maya says, let's take food. We're all business owners, so it should make sense. Everyone has to buy food. So if I have a $30 item that sells every day, why would I ever lower my price to 25 or 20? No, you don't. It's the cost of goods generally are like taxes, right? So if you ever get, let's say, a proposition that your government wants you to vote on or against, and it's saying, hey, 3-cent temporary tax on whatever. I've never seen a temporary tax at all. They label it as a temporary tax and they find a way to make it permanent, right? And that's no different than, the inflation that happens every year, it's always going up. And that's why there's, for most places, most companies, I think for like Social Security benefits, you have a yearly percentage that you get in addition, like a cost of living, a COLA, cost of living allowance that you get increased on that benefit every year, that type of thing. Deep Dive Books. I'm proud of John for taking my words to heart. He has grown so much. Well, thank you, John. You know what? The one thing I will never forget, and I remind myself this all the time, because when I'm doing things, I always, maybe it's the OCD in me. It's like, this has to be perfect. I have to have this right. I have this right. So I find myself spending more time on whatever that task is. And I remind myself by saying, what's your good enough? That's my John phrase.
I
Grumpy
didn't hear
John.
a word you said.
I know. This is my life right here. I talk to her and she looks at me like I haven't.
You were talking to them. What did you say?
I said the thing that reminds me of Grumpy John more than anything else is the phrase, find your good enough. What's your good enough? So if I found a way to accomplish a task in less time and it achieves what I'm needed to achieve, then I should be okay with it. Even though it's not perfect, should be okay with that. And I need to integrate that more so I can get more done. And I'll be talking about that with the guys tomorrow on Profit Playbook Podcast about trying to, things that we're dealing with optimizing our time and that type of thing. Maya says, why would stores lower prices? I think I read that. Duncan says, promoted listings ad spend is needed if you're getting no sales, nothing but crickets. You should try 5% promoted listings. Yes. And the thing that I would avoid doing is falling into it's now, see, they rebrand things. So it was called advanced promoted listings, where you pay, they want you to set a daily budget, no lesser than $5 a day, which can add up. It does add up. To where you're spending money on like cost per click and all this stuff. It's for 95% of us sellers, that's never necessary. Now, we did it for the second store because they're saying, hey, look, for the first $200, we'll cover 75%. Fine, we'll give it a try. We'll have $5 a day set and make it work to where I'm not spending any money out of pocket. Well, only but 25%. But aside from those programs, just stick with promoted listings standard for most sellers. That will do the trick. L&V Massage, in my case, think promoted is working great after I increase it to 9% from 3%. Yeah, you got to find the sweet spot. So sometimes, you're too low. You set it to a number that's higher than that. You get more sales. And then you think, well, if that's going to get me more sales, I'll jump it up another 4 or 5%. Now you're at the suggested rate, like 14, 15%. And you're not seeing any more sales. So you got to tailor that number to find where you're going to get more sales. So that's why I think if you're selling in a niche, it's such a better way to sell on eBay, where you have replenishable items, because you can get enough items where you finally fine tune what that number is, versus I'm selling this one-off item. I have it for 9%, but I'll never know if 5% would have done the trick. Duncan says,
You can do it.
The picky picker. I cleaned out my entire bedroom today and have so much clothes to donate.
I need to do that.
Yeah, we do. We both need to.
Yeah.
Maya says, to me, the only thing that will change food prices, supply, demand, excessive supply, because demand will never go down. Demand or supply is certainly a big part of that equation. That's for sure. Duncan says, Jenna seems quieter than usual today. Yeah. Family health problems situation.
I just got, right before we went live,
literally
right before we went live, I just got some really unsettling news about my mom. So I'm really technically mentally not here.
Yeah. So prayers go out. Hopefully, and I asked her if she, needed to step away, make some phone calls. You can still do that if you need to. I think everyone will understand.
Okay.
Nick says, you're spot on about promoted listings. eBay discovered a gold mine with it. It's not going away. You can tell anyone who will listen it's mean and not fair. That won't help your business. Right. Business isn't fair. If you're into business for feelings, it's the wrong business for feelings. Okay. You got to look at it from a data standpoint. Just like your electric bill is going to go up, your water bill is going to go up, your gas bill is going to go up. What you're paying now is going to be lower than what you're going to be paying in 5 or 10 years. It's just a given, just the way things are. And I think we just kind of have to kind of just accept it. Want to take your phone? You need to call anybody? Okay. Let's see. Jovial, the $175 monthly reimbursement they are advertising are only for those qualify for the Medicare Part D premium reimbursement, which is based on income assets and only provided by SSA. I don't see the rest of it. You said one or two. Not an insurance company. Most don't realize Medicare deducts $174 a month for 2024, 185-ish 2025 for Medicare coverage. Or reimbursement is only income asset based for low income. A lot of people do that resell qualify as low income. So if you certainly can take advantage of that, you need to check it out. And again, we have the impatient one. Bearded Picker says, I hit the thumb. Where's my sale? It happened. We tell you within 24 hours, and you're not limited to just one. So you can get more than one sale. John Doe says, I have a 20% off store-wide coupon. Perhaps I'll drop the coupon to 10% and promote at 10%. That's something that you can consider. Also, I always use a markdown sale. I run it for 2 weeks. Run it from Monday morning to 2 Sundays after, and I have it scheduled out so where it's automatically starting up the new sale once the other one's ended, and that helps a lot. So maybe you do that, but if you're not promoting at all, I would say in the order of things, I would say promotion, public coupon in your listing, because once they're in your listing, that'll help seal the deal, and then a markdown sale in that order. Now, can you afford to do all three? That's going to be something that you're going to have to figure out based on what your cost of goods are. That's going to have to be probably the driving factor, the cost of goods and the market for your item. Does that give you enough room to do what you want to do? Quirky Picker says, I'm going to wake up early tomorrow morning to get the flea market at 6 a.m., then a bunch of garage sales, including a community sale. Maybe I'll also hit the Goodwill bins. So you got a plan. That's good. For me, I think for the most part, I am done sourcing this year unless I'm able to come across a pallet that's just too good to pass up, which is loaded with a lot of good stuff. So I figure if I have a 20 by 10 unit right now that's with 2 racks on both sides filled to the gill with stuff, and it just doesn't make sense that I am not in there selling that before I consider buying more stuff to resell. You all right? Mm-hmm. Let's see. Larry Todd says, turning on the oil industry of the U.S. should help lower the cost of goods, but it'll take years. Yeah. These things that are projected to happen aren't overnight things. These are things that are going to happen over a period of time. So that's why I just, no matter who is, in office, it's going to take a lot of time to change things that are already in place. Kate says, I just had a customer that told me I sent the wrong item. I contacted their buyer about it. What do I do? So that one's a tough one, because generally if you send the wrong item, you're sending item A to customer B and item B to customer A. And then now to be able to communicate with both customer A and B, I find that you only get one customer that's willing to communicate, and the other customer, like customer B, will never respond to your messages. So now you're in a place where it's the idea of saying, look, I'll send you a label. Can you send it? And you send it to that person. I'll send you this person a label. Can you send it? It goes to that person. That never works, because you're relying on people you don't know. Even if you're able to get in contact with both of them, it generally never works. So the way you do it is to simply say, please return the other one. If I get that other one back, now this is assuming you don't have any more of those in stock. So let's open a return or give them their money back and then just kind of move on. It's one of those things where it's a pain in the butt to undo. So that's why it's so important to make sure you're sending the right things to your buyer. I had, and someone just replied back to me, I'm surprised about this. I had a buyer. I had this bread machine, Hamilton Beach bread maker, and the thing was great, except it was returned because the hinge, one of the little dowels that's on the metal hinge, was missing. So when you open and close it, the lid it was kind of funky, right? But you could still set it down so it works fine. And so I made a point in the item condition and in the item description to put, this thing works great. We tested it out, but the hinge has a problem. So maybe there's a dowel you can buy to maybe you can come up with a solution for that. And we lowered the price accordingly. Of course, lower price equals more buyers. This buyer bought my item. They got it. They ended up leaving me a neutral, which is fine, better than a negative, but saying that I wasn't an honest seller, that all I had to do was list that information in the listing and they wouldn't have bought it. Well, I did in 2 different places. And I replied to that person. I sent them a message saying, look, I don't know what happened here, but it's in 2 places. Here's the screenshots. Okay. And they just now said something about, oh, I just saw that. Sorry. They talk about, seller needs to be more honest. So now I don't know. Maybe the buyer's going to remove their feedback. I don't know. But I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. Keith, get a card or something for your mom from me. Thank you, Keith. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Keith.
Yeah, thank you. And we love you guys. That's why we're here. I mean, honestly, if we didn't appreciate the community here, we would have put out something saying, guys, we're just not going to do the show. But, I asked her if she wanted to step away and not do it. She's, we love you guys. That's why we're doing it. So I'll just put it out like that. I don't know what QMB, SLMB, and QI1 is.
First,
oh, okay. Not an insurance company. No, I did that already. I did that. No. I read all of them already.
No, she said different things.
I read all of them already. I did. I jumped down there. Beard says, answer door opening, carrying, no F's given. Oh.
So that's what we should do when we pick up?
I don't know. No. Larry Todd, C4P eBay is not trash. Having my best year ever again. Yeah, I mean, look, there's people making good sales on eBay. And I think if once we get out of our own bubble of reality, so I'm having a hard time making money on eBay, therefore nobody else is, and there's a problem with eBay. And I think if you remove that bubble, look around, check the community, go into a community like this and see what's everyone else doing. If every person's saying, look, my sales are down too, don't feel bad, my sales are down too, then we could put some things on the economy or / eBay. But as long as people are, and I do think the economy is slowing things down for people, don't get me wrong, but you can still make money on the platform is what I'm trying to say. Let's see, trying to get past the sidebar comments. We have Beamy, Resellers, Bill, and Midge made it before the show was over. Well, it's all right. You've been here 25 minutes and I didn't get your comments, so it's all right. Flipping from the trailer says, I always meet at the local police station for FBM. I just didn't have time today, to be honest with you. I'm like, do I tell this person? First of all, you look at the profile. It could be different, right? It could be somebody way different, but nice old lady. She's at the beach with her arms in the air. It's like, okay, she just needs some relief with this chair. So I'm not going to make her go through all that. Let's see. C4P says using eBay to promote your Shopify store is the way to go. Promote directly to your customers.
I really don't know if I can take this person seriously because I
don't know. I don't know. People have their opinions. I don't know.
I get it, but I can't tell are you really an eBay seller or are you not? Or are you just here to troll?
I don't know. I haven't seen the latest
Well,
comments.
there's a lot, and
Okay.
so I'm not sure I can take you seriously.
Okay, well,
and you're this close to being put in timeout. So
okay. So Beard says you are special, John. Well, thank you, Beard. I appreciate you. Rob something says, not sure why people begrudge eBay making profits the same time they're trying to do the same for themselves. Yeah. It's like a reseller getting mad at another reseller for negotiating at a yard sale. Maybe they don't feel comfortable themselves and trying to get that $10 item for $5, right? I'm not mad at that lady for saying, will you take 30? Maybe she's going to take that toilet seat she just bought from me from 35 and she's going to go to like her ex's house and sell it to him for 70. I don't know. Maybe she's a reseller. I don't know.
She pulled on you what you do at the garage sales.
And I look, I'm not mad at her for it.
No.
I was more like bothered at myself for wasting 10 minutes.
Everybody wants a discount nowadays.
So maybe that's why maybe she used that tactic to talk me down, to talk to me, right? To butter me up.
Yeah.
And then to say, would you take $5 less? And I'm like,
she needed to go get something to eat.
But what she didn't know is I already planned for that. I already planned in my mind, what's the lowest you'll go here? Because I know that when someone's going to come pick up my item, if it's not agreed to in the chat, chances are they're going to try to hit me for a different price. And I got to have a what's my lowest that I'll take before I say no, just have a nice day. Because they didn't want to come all that way to be turned away. So if you set a number, if she would have said, will you take 20? I would have said, no, I can't take 20. She would have then, well, what would you do? I'll say 30 and we'd have had a transaction. So I already had a game plan in my mind that was going to happen. Let's see. Deep Dive says, dude, I got a guest room. I don't know who you're talking to. I don't know. Let's see. You don't need to sleep on the couch. Who's sleeping on the couch? What? I feel bad for you if you're sleeping on the couch.
Wait,
that's not a thing.
Grumpy, how do you have a guest room?
In his RV.
How?
I don't know. The kitchen. The little dining nook. You can flip that into a bed. Yeah. In your motorhome.
That's a question.
Do I look like an adapter to you? LOL. Gee. Nope. Bought a house yesterday. What? So wait. So you're now in Texas. Are you now in Texas?
Well, he just bought a house yesterday.
And he hasn't left Texas.
And I presume that Lori wouldn't have it any other way than to be near the grandbabies.
I'm sure you're happy about that one.
I'm excited for you guys. That's awesome.
But see, to me, John was living the way I'd like to live. If I was in his situation, I'd have the RV. I'd be going to different parts of the country, checking out the place. They could still do that.
They can still do that.
I don't see
why. So, I would love to be able to have that set up too, but there's a lot that goes into that. Congratulations, guys. That's awesome. Yeah.
Mike says, I'm playing in the eBay sandbox by opting into more ads and working with a growth advisor. Her words, I'm here to make you make more money. Let's see what happens. And guess what? Now, I am very, very sure that account manager, because eBay has come out with account, if your account is big enough, you can get an account manager. And I'm sure that they get their bonuses and all that based on your success, right? So it just leads to the idea that eBay, the sellers have to be successful in order for eBay to be successful. So there's no formula that makes any sense. Now, if you're a bad seller and you're, selling things that you shouldn't be selling in categories you should be selling, you're going to find that things are going to be throttled. If you're dealing with multiple Vero issues, eBay is going to probably make it so that your items are not seen. Or if you are a seller that's below standard, or have done things with your metrics to where you're not delivering what eBay wants you to deliver, then you're going to be put in a place like on page 3 or 4, and it's going to be harder for your items to sell. But that's nothing against you. They still want that item to sell. So this whole notion that eBay doesn't want you to sell it doesn't make any sense to me. when you're looking at the bottom line. And so in this case, you have a growth advisor. They're going to do everything they can to help you make sales. I'm very curious, Mike, though. If I had a growth advisor, I would be asking the questions that we ask all the time. What are the things that I need to do? How do I use this to my advantage? I mean, pick her brain if you can.
What makes you assume it's a her?
It sounds like a her.
Oh, her words.
Yeah. See, it sounded like a her. Ecom says, hey guys, greetings from Ecoms. We think eBay fees are justified given them amount of work they do helping buyers and sellers and keeping everything fair and reasonable. You guys agree overall? eBay fees 13.25%. That hasn't changed in a while. I think if you consider the cost of inflation, things have gone up in price, but eBay base fees haven't. Now I'm not trying to give eBay any ideas, but if you consider the value, if you're a seller that doesn't use promoted listings, you are getting more value now than you did 2 or 3 years ago. With that said, because they've changed the game, you're kind of forced into using promoted listings. Even if you did 2.1%, you're still at 15 point something percent total out the door. It's still in line with inflation and all that stuff over the last few years. Now, as far as given the work that they do helping buyers and sellers, I mean, they do provide the platform. I think they're doing less than they did before because they used to advertise. They used to get the word out. They're doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. So it's hard to appreciate that because we don't see the things that they're doing. I'm not mad at eBay at all, but they can do better. I think that this step of advertising, I think if they continue down this path, really get the word out. And I'm not talking about, I haven't even heard of this retailer that they're dealing with. I'm talking about getting that message out on high traffic social media platforms and or on cable TV channels. Then I don't mind paying the fees to get that extra traffic. Beamy says no sales so far today, but still hopeful. Yep. Don't lose hope.
Day's not
because
you can do it.
Nick says that's not true. C4P, you have to take accountability and reevaluate what you're selling. Yeah, it's always a good idea. And I'm trying to avoid the sidebar convo. Southern Vermont Vintage says eBay is my safe word. I am trying to, guys. Kate says, John, love your Pete shirt. Craigslist Hunter. Been to a store a lot as he is in my hood. I would love to go there.
I would love that.
I plan on making my way to his store, and I don't know if he's watching me or not, so I'm going to blow my cover.
Go for honey.
I'm going to blow my cover. I'm going to go into a store with a hoodie on. I'm going to go into a store with a hoodie on. I'm going to have a fake nose.
Tell him.
I don't know if he's watching or not. I'm going to go have a fake nose and glasses, and I'm going to have this item that I'm going to try to sell him, and I'm going to give it to him, and then as he's like, oh, okay, well, let me look. And then I'll remove like my glasses, and then I'll remove every 5 minutes I'll remove something until he recognizes who he's dealing with. I don't know. I blew my cover. It was a stupid thing, but I do want to go there, and I want to at least surprise him in some way, shape, or form.
And Jovio mentioned from the way they see it, it looks like they're sitting on your lap.
Yes. Yes. They're getting along too. That's cool. Our pets don't get along like that. Jovio says in 2022, a $2,000 out-of-pocket spending cap was signed for Medicare RX, which takes effect in 2025. No longer have the dreaded donut hole. Big win for Medicare recipients. So there you go. That's your Medicare. Go check it out if you need it. Sherman says with 5% promoted listings, I sell $40 graded sports cards. $8 goes to eBay, and I have 10% sale. So the $4. If I bump the card to $50, nobody would look at it. So what that means, Sherman, is you're going to have to find a way to do more volume to maintain the levels you were at before. Big Dre says, yesterday I sold $200, nothing today. Also noticed a new competitor sourcing my thrift shop. Going to have to show up early now on 50% days and or find another source. Get on, get in your yellow pages, but find other places to go. There's other places. I think there's a lot of things we
Did you really say Yellow Pages? Like
I said Yellow Pages.
That
With
really,
the equivalent,
really did age you.
What the equivalent of what you used to use 20 years ago. Okay, find that and get other sources if you can. Basket Noodle, my fixed fortification statement was not intended to be political. It was to display the application of old mindsets to modern times. It was actually General Patton that said the aforementioned statement. Well, I guess we're along for the ride. This is a movie. Grab your popcorn. Those of you who went out a few days ago to do your civic duty, well, at this point, your job is done, and you just sit back and either hate or enjoy the ride. I mean, that's kind of what the way I would have to look at it. Southern Vermont Vintage, go to an auction put on by a licensed auctioneer, sell something by a licensed auctioneer, 15 to 25% buyer premium, 30% seller cost. eBay don't sound too bad. And then take that mindset and go in and have your own brick and mortar or have your own shop and put all the costs of insurance and utilities and payroll and all these things, and then look back at eBay and you'll be like, why did I stop reselling? Nick, reminder to us all that we gladly take eBay problems in exchange for good health for our families. It's not as serious as we think when you put it into perspective. Wishing the best for your mom. Well, thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Nick.
That's awesome. You guys are awesome, and certainly don't need to send super chats to convey that message. I totally agree, and thank you for that. You guys are just awesome.
You guys are really great. I love you.
Yeah. S. Latina, nicely phrased, John, regarding politics. We used to tell the kids when they did the soccer line handshake at game's end with the other team, no spitting on your hands before shaking with the opponents. You know what? When I was a kid playing sports, I remember when we had to go in and we had this line up, right? We just got our butt kicked and we had to line up and we'd have to go and give everyone a high five, right? Shake their hand. And we'd have to say, good game, good game. We're like, good game, good game. And the other team was like, good game, right? And they're smacking your hand really hard. And you're like, this sucks, right? But I'm glad for those moments because it really taught me adversity, how to deal with adversity, which is why I think the worst thing that society has ever done is to give participation trophies out. I think it really kept people from understanding that you can't always get, what are the Beatles saying that, right? Can't always get what you want. I don't know if I sang that well or not.
That was terrible.
Yeah, I know. Crypto will be
a little pitchy.
Crypto will be the new gold. So I don't get the gold ticket?
No.
Oh, I'm not going to Hollywood.
No.
Crypto will be the new gold,
You
only
don't
certain
wanna go to
ones.
Hollywood.
I have some gold. And I debated on buying more. I don't know. But it's gone up since the summer. Actually, since the spring when I bought gold, it's gone up like $300 an ounce. Brenda Smith says consignment stores fees are usually 60-40. Basket Noodle says if the dollar were to be replaced as the global standard of interchange, we're nearly instantly in poverty. And that is the concern. That is the absolute concern. And we don't even have gold or silver to back up our currency, right? This currency is backed by nothing. In fact, the only thing it's really ever been backed on is military might. So it's as a country, we've got our military, and therefore the dollar has value. You trust in the dollar because we can back up whatever we want, kind of thing. That's kind of the mindset that we've had for who knows how many years, since the 70s when it took place. Josh says, John and I took the 1K. What 1K?
It's in regarding to the C person. I missed that. Yeah,
okay.
It's just a bunch of garbage. I don't know.
Well,
if they were at all serious in what they were trying to talk about.
Well, Silverhead says BRICS has a long way to go to replace the dollar. Probably not in my short lifetime. I don't know.
You've had a long lifetime.
You got a long time to go. Yeah. You got too many items to sell to go anywhere. Yeah. Maya says, I do agree with you, John. Most of us have only known a world where America was the world leader. We don't know how bad it could be if we step back from being that. Yeah, there's a total change. I mean, it's just totally different. No change. Even like after 9/11, when things changed like dramatically, drastically. I was just trying to say dramatically and drastically at the same time. But, our world changed then. If you want to see a change, you've not seen anything yet. So that's the thing that I have no control over, that, I think about all the time, unfortunately. Southern Vermont Vintage, eBay wants you time, it best be for good money. If eBay wants your time, it best be for good money. I think that's what you mean to say. Sherman says, once they're in your pocket, you can't get them out. No, well, you can leave the platform, I guess, right? But ultimately, who's happier? The person that's paying the extra fees and getting more sales, or the person that refuses to pay extra fees and is not getting more sales? I don't want to test that out, but I would assume that paying more fees, getting me more sales, is a happier seller on the platform. Christine Talona, I always say, good enough for the guys I date. I like to keep the bar low.
That's what I was laughing at earlier.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess, huh? Basket Noodle says, efficiency. I could spend weeks picking up leaves off the lawn. Yeah. Speaking of that, we got a lot of leaves that we got to deal with. I don't even want to deal with that. John's here to understand what promoted listings are. Okay. Keith, if you can shave even a second on every task you do, or a second on every task you do, that time adds up and thus makes you more efficient. Yeah. Mm-hmm. My thing is just distractions. It's always been distractions. War Machine 20. Sorry if this was asked already, but any chance the $600 Cash App, Venmo, eBay rule will be done away with by new administration? I don't know if that's going to happen. I really think that, I think it's 5,000 now. I don't think it's 600. I think it's 5,000, at least for eBay and the other platforms like that. As far as Venmo, Cash App, I don't know if it's 5,000 for them as well. Anyone want to put that in there? But, it's just not there's so many topics, like, we're going to change this, we're going to change that. I've never heard anyone from this administration saying that's on their radar. So probably not.
It might be in the depths of the fine print, but we haven't gotten that far.
Basket Noodle, where the hell is the auction eBay kid for $325 with free shipping to clean up my damn leaves?
That's what I'm saying. I need somebody to come over here for cheap, and just come do some yard work.
Larry Todd, 0 promoted and having my best year ever. Well, darn it, that's awesome. Let's see. Basket, auction your children to mental tasks via eBay. Yeah, well, we don't have kids here. Menial. I thought I said mental. Sorry.
Menial.
Yeah, menial tasks.
No, all of we're empty nesters now.
Nick says, I was manager at a chimney company before going full time, and our cost per lead was close to $500. Promoted listings is a cash grab, but doing it on your own is more expensive. Yes, like I said, go and set up a Shopify and drive traffic. I know Josh has been doing that, but I don't know what. I'd like to know what he's paying as in relation to eBay fees to drive his traffic to his Shopify. Let's see. Pitco says, who here don't have any promoted listings on for a while? So I'm curious, anybody? Well, Todd says none. So he must be playing the price game where he's making sure he's the lowest price. So that way someone's clicking the option lowest plus shipping, he's going to be at the top of that search. Now, talking to Ebert, a very small percentage of buyers, believe it or not, even think about using that to sort their items. They just look at what is given to them in best match. People don't, it's like the people that don't read your listings. They don't take the time to do these extra things they just click on eBay, they type in the search, they see what looks good, they buy it. That's why it's so important to be in best match search as high up as you can. I'm curious though, Todd, what would happen? So you're a perfect example. So you don't use promoted listings for anything. What would happen if you go on and put 2.1% promoted listings and give it a solid week or two? What do you think would happen to your sales? I think that they would increase. Nissa says, I will keep her in my prayers. So thank you for that. Samantha, this is prayers for you and your family, Jenna and John. More prayers from Kate Picker. John M says, Jenna, go take a minute. It's your mom. We all understand.
Unfortunately, because she's at the hospital, I can't talk to her. I don't know many details right this minute. So I don't really have anything I can do right in this moment. Being that my mom is in California, I'm here in Vegas. She sent, my stepdad is the one that sent me a message. And the reason I know that is because it's all in third person. And so my mom's not able to be talked to right now. And my dad is very technically just, he can't work a cell phone to save his life. So I'm going to have to be patient and kind of not overreact or just keep myself level-headed. I'm trying to focus on what we're doing here, but you guys are really important to me and to us. And if I could talk to my mom right now, I would. But right now, it's just, I literally got this message 2 minutes before we went live. Yeah. So I really don't know what's going on. So I really don't know what to say either. But thank you to everyone. I appreciate you guys. You guys mean the absolute world to me. I'm sure she's going to be fine. She is one hell of a fighter. She is who I get my strength from. She's gone through a lot of things in her life, so I'm not. The only thing I worry about is what we can't control, and I'm not supposed to worry about those things. So I'm going to try and just give it to God and let Him work his healing magic. So
yeah, we appreciate all the kind words and everything, though. And you know, it really trivializes things like eBay. You know, it's like, okay, eBay will be here tomorrow. People aren't guaranteed to be, you know, and that's why it's so important that, you know, you make that phone call, you know, talk to that family member, you know, make sure that they know what you think of them. And if that means that you talk to them for an hour, then talk to them for an hour, you know, put the eBay down for a minute, you know, that kind of thing. But we'll try to continue for about another half an hour if we can. I know, I don't know, Beard, if he's having his live afterwards, if you can put that in the chat. John M says, I find that raising my promoted and raising my price a little too works. Now I'll have to go higher though, because I was at 5.1 to beat out those at 5. So yeah, I mean, it's just the cost of, you know, it's no different than, okay, now this item costs that store an extra 10%. Well, they're not eating that. They're not going to take a lower margin unless they absolutely have to. They're going to pass that on to you. SCG is waiting for the like button sale. Johns doesn't like me. We love you. I just think
we love you.
I just think that your sales, see, the thing is, you're hitting the like button, right? You go to Beard's live 2 hours after mine starts.
And it confuses the like button.
Not at all. You're giving Beard the credit for that like sale instead of understanding that it's 24 hours. I've never said you're going to get immediate sale when you hit the button. You hit that button, you got to give it 24 hours to marinate, right? You got, it's like a good steak. You got to let it marinate a little bit. John M says, I'm at our flea market on Sundays at 4:30 in the morning. And there's sometimes for 5 to 7 hours been racking up all their year there. Make contacts with the vendors. Yep, I agree with that. Have a few that hold video games and electronics for me, as it's my main item I buy, but I buy everything over the past 3 years. And you know what you can do? See if they like Starbucks, or see if they like, you know, get them like a little gift card to like Chipotle or something, saying, hey, Chipotle, it's my life. I ever see that? Remember that meme from like 10 years ago? That little boy, that was like one of the all times. But anyway,
that was our kids all the time.
Yeah. But do something for them, because guess what? They're doing something for you. And if you're hooking them up with like, this guy is like totally cool, give me a gift card. And, I know that this person's going to be here. I don't have to worry about lugging all this stuff to the flea market and having to resell it because he's coming to get it. So I think you build that relationship and they're going to have your back in most cases. Maya says, are you just removing the little gray box that says promoted? I'm missing something.
I think she was talking to that person.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I can't see those comments anymore. John M says, on an unrelated note, I just purchased a JFJ Pro Disc resurfacer, and it's great. Isn't perfect, but now I buy even totally scratch games. They come out to look almost new. Great investment. There you go. That's awesome. I mean, really, if you think about it, you buy games, right, and they end up not playing because they don't work. I mean, what are you going to do with them? Throw it away? So over years of time, especially if that's your niche, how much product are you throwing away that you would normally with this machine be able to fix? So find things like that, like the paper tape machine or the pillow machine. I love that thing. I use it every day. That thing is awesome. We buy less bubble wrap because of it. And I think buy one big roll of that quilted bubble and it lasts me like a month and a half. Anissa says, stay in prayer, Jenna, and keep the faith. SCG says, one tough gal. You married you, John? Yep, I agree. Anyone who has to deal with me is tough. I tell you that. Has to live with me is tough. Hang in there, Jenna. We got you. Basketball, I have to go and do the dishes and feed the cat. Take care, everybody. Blessings to all. Well, thank you very much. Snake Puskin or Puskin. Maya says, oh, they do. Honestly, part of it is my own doing. I need to go through and get rid of a lot of old files and old programs.
I think she's talking to
Okay, is that okay? That all that nonsense. PY23, I owned a ticket brokerage firm for years in the Craigslist days, and my guys would meet buyers at banks. Tons of cameras.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Let's see. Go down here a little bit.
Well, that's just like when you live in a what am I trying to say? When you live in when your kids have to deal with two households and you have to go and drop, the kids off for the transfer of the children, like for our son and his wife, their kids, they meet at the police station to change the kids over. So it's kind of like that, I feel.
So everybody, Chastity just made $8 more than me during this live. So good job. Awesome. There you go. Got her sale. Southern Vermont Vintage. Pull a U-Haul trailer guest room to John there. Let's see. Beers says, I'm back. Did you miss me?
We didn't even know you were
Your name
gone.
never came up once. Well, yeah, one time to ask if you're doing that live, but that's it. Jovial says, just me, or does it look like Honey is sitting on John's lap? Yes. Yes. He sent both pets with the shirt. I just got to send the pets back when I'm done with them. Deep dive. Scott, we doing a show tonight?
Yeah, from what I can read is yes, he is.
Todd says eBay bucks worked. Why did they stop that program? Doofus move. I mean, it gives people what? Incentive to come back. So, oh, good. I've got some eBay bucks. Maybe I can spend these 2 valuable eBay bucks on this next purchase. We pay enough in fees. There should be something like that.
Larry. Hi, Larry.
Where?
Right
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry. Larry, way out. How you doing, Larry? Nice to see you. Hope all is well. Let's see.
What did she say about Honey? Honey loves my grandkids. Oh,
yeah.
I want to go.
Yeah.
Cuddle with Honey.
Yeah, that cat loves to lay on like the stereo receivers. I always wonder, like, what about the cat hair that gets like inside the whatever? That's the reason why we don't have cats, because of all the cat hair. I don't want to deal with all that. Yeah. Mike says, I asked several questions. One was, did she think having multiple stores is beneficial? Roughly 90% of my stores are video games and 10% thrift She seems to think for tracking purposes it is. So there you go. Something that I figured out just because I wanted to have a second store mostly for just doing like research and trying new things, but I think it does help. I really do. Maya says, not even just eBay bucks. I remember them sending me just random 10 to 15% off coupons. Yeah. I mean, where's that at? I mean, or are they just leaving that up to the... See, the thing is, they know if they send the coupons out, it's coming off of their bottom line, right? Mm-hmm. If we send them out, it's coming off of ours. So they figure, let's convince the sellers to do it so we don't have to do that anymore. So over here, Pitco, I have promoted. However, I sell many of one-off items, vintage and hard to find items. So most of the time, my stuff is on first page of search. Okay, that explains it. Mm-hmm. Simple Beautiful says, hey, J&J, love your shirt, John, and I love how your makeup matches your shirt, Miss Jenna.
Oh, thank you.
Oh. Did you know that was happening? Did you plan that?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Because I'm glad, because the fact that you didn't plan it, I don't want to be blamed for not noticing it. So if you didn't plan it, I shouldn't be blamed for not noticing it.
No,
okay.
You don't notice many things, so it's water.
Oh my! Hill Valley Vintage says, "I'm sure you were happy to see Otani get a ring. Trout must feel like he's missing out." I don't know anymore.
A bunch of BS.
Yeah, it is what it is. I just, he didn't even really contribute that last series anyway that much. Let's see, going down here. Art by Axe is Rolling Stones.
Yeah, you were singing that song, and you said it's Rolling Stones.
Oh, why don't you just?
I mean,
sorry. If John walks into the Peach shop naked, have a front row seat. I don't know who would want that.
Now that would be one hell of a video.
Yeah, I'd be like, no. And Pete would put that video out with me all blurred out, right? And my head popping out, right? No, we're not doing that. Samantha Hunter, good grief, John, sing not. The Rolling Stones, for God's sake. All right. Well, I get no satisfaction. Mike Gerda says, number 2, controversial offsite. What I get out of it, it takes time to see results. So if you have to be profitable and willing to spend money, then maybe store growth happens. Maybe. I don't want maybe. If I'm going to spend money over time, I want them to show me that this is almost going to happen. Almost 100% going to happen for you. Yes. Post office is closed Monday. Just so you guys know, we get a reprieve from shipping an extra day. Gold, what fool would buy that stuff? Mike Gerda says, you're fishing for Google customers with hope that they will buy again from you. Yeah, on the hope that your item will pop up in their catalog, right?
Go back up.
I'm in skip mode now.
Well, Swamp Picker's here.
Oh, we got Swamp Picker.
The crazy card.
Here. You want to do this?
No. But you're missing the
Swamp Picker says, hey, Mike, nice to see you. Larry, Scott, thanks for trying to straighten out John on music. Yeah, well, we talk R&B, I'll have it down.
Yeah, it'll go in one ear and out the other if it's not his music. He can't even remember Jelly Roll.
Cinnamon Roll.
Yeah.
Okay. Coin Collector, I hear y'all. I just recently got into eBay mode, 12 sales so far. Biggest mistake has been shipping USPS Ground Advantage, aka Snail Mail Express, week later and barely moved. My bad. I mean, I'd say that's one of the best things that the U.S. Mail has done is I don't think we've ever done this year a priority mail package other than Poshmark, right? It's just great. And then if they lose your package, you're kind of hoping that it either gets there on time or they lose the package, right? Don't want them to damage it. Either get it there or lose it, because every time we filed a claim on a lost, we've gotten paid within a week. Let's see. Duncan says Philetic auction houses charge buyers 25% buyer's premium on top of hammer price. That's the final sale price. The highest courier charge for shipping also charges sellers to consign with them. eBay fees are so much less. But people don't know what they don't know. right?
Yeah.
They only know what they did 5 years ago on eBay, but they don't have the same. It's all about perspective. I mean, anything in life that you deal with is all about perspective. So if you have that perspective, it's easier to accept when eBay, tells you, hey, we're going to up the fees or whatever. Sherman says, well, if the dollar goes, China won't be sending their crap here anymore. No more bootleg or knockoff copies of legit. But with the whole deal with EPAC, I think a lot of that's going to slow down anyway. Let's see. Swamp Picker, what do you get for promoted besides the top of the page? You get your item. Well, you get non-promoted, non-search impressions, promoted non-search. So your items appear in other people's listings, which we all love. But we love it when you're in someone else's listing, but we hate it when other people are in ours. You get that, but you get higher placement. That's for sure. Now we're talking top 20. There's certain slots reserved and all that, but you still have a better chance to be on page 1 than page 2, which is kind of the kiss of death. Maya says you get ads for your listings and other people's listings. Even promoting, you oftentimes don't get the top of the search. Yeah. Coin Collector, I prefer leaving the leaves. That way the queen bees will be safe over the winter while they hibernate. Love me some fresh honey. And prayers for your mom.
Thank you.
John M says, I sent that a while ago when you first told us. Okay. Anissa says, does she live away from you? I take it you can pray.
Yeah,
she's in California.
She lives in California, so I'm sure she's going to be fine. It's just, I have a lot of trauma when it comes to medical and sudden phone calls. I have a lot of trauma from when my dad passed away.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate it, Josh. We haven't even, I mean, literally, we don't even know what's going on, so we don't know.
Yeah, I won't know anything until we're done here, and that's if I can get she just sent a message. Well, I don't know if it's her or my dad, but she just sent a message. It's got to be my mom, because only my mom would say this. She says, please don't call me. My roommate is very nosy and a gossip. No privacy in this room. So, So she sounds to be like she's all right. I don't know what the problem is. And so we'll
know in a few minutes.
We'll know in a little while. I'm sure she's fine. She has some health issues. So she was in the middle of getting all of that addressed, and she had some issues with pain. So I'll leave it at that. But I'm sure she's fine. It's just, she's my mom. As you guys know, or maybe some of you know, that my dad passed away when I was 12. So my mom is my everything. So it'll be all right. I'm just an emotional mess. That's all.
And it's health is so important. You don't understand until you don't have it. Yes.
Right.
Simple, beautiful. Sorry to hear about your mom. Trust me, I know how you feel. Nick says, in 5 years, I'm going to see a commercial that says, if flipping ain't easy, promise you a sale in 24 hours after hitting the like button. You may be entitled to compensation. Oh, that's awesome. Coin Collector, I sell books mainly, and in my experience, I never made sales when I need them, or make sales when I need them, but I always make sales when I'm swamped with real-world obligations not related to eBay. 6 sales in 30 minutes. You must have hit that like button.
Was that silver hair?
No, Coin Collector.
Oh, wow.
You must have hit that like button. I'm confident. Swamp Picker, Scott doing a show. That's awesome. I don't know if I'll be there right away to kind of hang out. This says, I'm afraid of the like. Last couple times I did it, I got a return.
Oh, no.
You're confusing me with Scott's channel, I think. Again, it's okay. People do it all the time.
I don't know why he didn't take the package.
He didn't take the package? Uh-oh. Samantha, John, lost my mind a minute. I thought, why don't John move that dog off his lap? Craig Wine, Jenna, as soon as you can talk to your mom, I lost my mom last year. It'll help you cope when you hear her voice. My prayers are with you and your family. Appreciate that. Banana hammock. No, that ain't happening here. Sherman says, I use Ground Advantage and eBay standard envelope for cards. And this is, I'm going to have to creep on Todd's banging store and see what he's selling. That's so fire. I mean, really, that's a good idea anyway. Always try to get ideas from other sellers. David from Scotland. Evening all, very late to the party. I hope your mom's okay. Did they take the package?
It was Amazon.
Oh. Well, you got here kind of late last time, but promoted is not just about higher placement. I get that with just making a good listing. Promoted gets your listing shown in other places than just best match search. Right. And I mentioned that you get into other people's listings and non-search placement. Let's see. No. Swamp Picker says you're the only child. Only one else can check on her.
No, I'm not. I'm the oldest of three girls. So, my sisters, that, like I said, with getting the message right before we went live, I didn't even have a chance to make a call or send a message. So we just kind of went right into this. So I'll be calling my dad, my stepdad, when we're done, and then I'll call my sisters because my sisters usually have more information.
Let's see. The crazy card, easy to confuse you and Scott. You practically look like twins. Who? It's got to be someone else. Ecoms, think your mom was saying don't call but send texts. Chin up, mom's in the best place.
Yeah, I'm sure she's fine. I know she's been in a lot of pain, and so I just don't want her to be in pain. So I'm hoping whatever is the problem, they can get her out of pain. And I know that they've already given her 2 doses of tramadol, and tramadol is a crazy pain medication. So she might be getting a little loopy.
Let's see. Todd says elder people are my best buyers. There's a window between 2 and 8 when I get most sales. Go Boomers. Well, that's where we're at. We're right into that window when you're watching the live. So that's probably why. Piggy Picker says I don't really promote any of my listings. Maybe 2% of all my listings are promoted. Mm-hmm. I mean, whatever works for you. I just think sometimes for those who just don't promote, have you done an experiment to see what would it look like if you spent a week or 2 just promoting your listings? See what that would do for your sales. Now, of course, it's going to drive up your traffic for sure, 100%, because you're going to get that listing, even if it's a one-off. Let's say it's a unique. Let's say you're Josh Galt. You have a unique vase. All right, one of a kind, one-off. Nobody else has it. Well, there's certain keywords in that listing that's going to pop up in other searches. So you're going to get more impressions and a chance that more people are going to say, well, that's a cool one. I didn't know that one exists. Oh, it's a one-off. Okay, well, I wouldn't have known to search for that. You might get some sales because of that. You're going to get more exposure for sure. Will that work? I don't know, but you're never going to know until you try it. And is that worth spending a little extra in fees to see if that's going to give a big boost to your business or not? If you're not really making this, it all boils down to, are you making the sales that you want to make? And if you're not, then you should be doing these experiments, I think. Callie Deb says, I promoted at 6% and 2.1 along with no promotions at all. And it's all about the same for me. So you're going to find that for some people, it's going to work great. Some people, it's not going to work at all. But you got to find out what works for you. And if you don't even try it, then you're never going to know.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to leave that here. But I just want to thank each and every one of you. Thanks for the super chats. That's awesome of you guys. We really appreciate each and every one of you guys for being here with us, being a part of the program, being a part of this FAE community, FAE family. And just know that we love each and every one of you guys, and we want to see you guys succeed. That's the whole reason why we're here. It's that community as being off of eBay Island. That is so much better than not having a community. I'll tell you that. So
I think you guys really changed the game for us when it came down to the community.
Yeah.
We would be stuck in the garage, not, making mistake after mistake after mistake and learning and more learning. And so I can't tell you what a benefit it is for us to have all of you be in this with us together. We're a family, whether we like it or not.
Well, and it used to be when we did these lives, it was like, I don't know if I want to go live. I'm going to get 10 people watching my live. Do I really want to? But it's something we built, right? And so when you build something, there's something there to keep you coming back. So thank you guys for being a part of that. And you know what? I'll just close this by saying this. We want eBay to do a lot of things. And I think for the longest time, we've asked them to please get the word out about eBay. Let people know that we're more than just these categories. And let's hope that they're finally doing that. And I know we touched on that earlier this year, and they really never followed through. Maybe this is them following through. And these things are all out of our control. We can just hope for the best. But, dealing with whatever eBay throws our way or what they don't, and just dealing with that is yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. Want you guys to have an excellent weekend. No shipping on Monday.
And thank a veteran, like Jovial said. Thank a veteran sometime this weekend. Love you guys.
All right. Thank you. Have a good one.